The person joining us next, his designation is that of a general manager at Tata, but his identity largely is that of a social entrepreneur. He is an author, he is also a singer, but one thing you know him most for is being Mr. Tata's millennial friend. Shantanu, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us. Is that a fair introduction to what your life is?
Heavier than what I would like, but fair.
Okay.
Nice to be here. So.
You know, we're starting at one of its kind animal hospitals in the country. We've done a full tour of the place. We've seen the kind of mechanisms that have been brought in. What really stuck with me was not just the machinery, first of its kind setup that has been made, but also just to see how happy doctors were just working around the area. Go back to the time when the first time the idea of an animal hospital actually came about.
Right. I think it's a pretty well-known story when Mr. Tata's own dog Tito was suffering from a particular medical issue which didn't really have a solution that was present in India. So there was a particular freeze the joint kind of solution which was a bit medically advanced for our veterinary care system, and he had to fly him out of the country. So at that point, even though he fixed that situation, it stuck with him that why shouldn't our country have the kind of resources to deal with situations as complex as these, especially with the growing pet population. That's when the idea germinated. That was quite a long time ago, but over the years it has taken shape, form, and here we are at the hospital today.
Shantanu, I'm quite intrigued by the different projects that you've been picking up, working with the Tata Trust. It is about, older people, lonely people at one hand. It is about strays and dogs the other.
हम तो गरबा मनाएंगे सीनियर सिटीजन्स के साथ, तो आपको बस आना है, हमारे साथ फेस्टिवल बनाना है, क्योंकि सीनियर सिटीजन्स को ये गरबा में हम तो लोग इन्वॉल्व करके ही रहेंगे, और अगर नहीं भी नाचे तो खाएंगे पिएंगे मजे करेंगे.
At a time, you're what, 30, right?
Yeah, 31.
You're 31. You're almost my age, and this is the age of a lot of entrepreneurs and startup owners as well. At a time when you have an entire generation which is looking at valuation, startups, and doing path-breaking stuff with AI, what keeps bringing you back to this social entrepreneurship, or to do more for others than actually your bank balance?
I think entrepreneurship is the pursuit of picking a problem and solving it. Picking a really tough problem and solving it, and all the profitable startups, and kudos to them for having done what they have. They have picked a problem, they've solved it successfully and made it profitable, which is a very successful enterprise, which is something I really respect and appreciate. For me personally, picking that particular problem to solve has always been about a problem that resonates with me on an emotional level, on a value system level. That is the only incentive that allows me to try and solve it. So I might identify a profitable problem, but it just doesn't excite me as much to chase it as a problem that has visible positive impact on communities. So the valuations, entrepreneurship, and the breakneck ecosystem that we have should exist and should thrive, and it is an important and integral part of our Indian youth, our economy in the future. But as far as social entrepreneurship is concerned, it's just a personal thing that I just need to pick a problem where I can see communities getting impacted positively.
I see. I have an observation to make. You are 30, in your 30s.
Yeah.
You sound like you are 45. Your vision is that of a much older person. Where is all this coming from, Shantanu?
I really don't know. If you literally mean sound, I have a cold today. So, but I don't know. I couldn't answer that myself. I think I have been privileged enough to be put into situations where I'm exposed to people who are quite senior in the industry, which allows me to perhaps absorb as much as I can. So I think I have an advantage in that sense. So it's really not me as much as the situations I've been put in, and I'm quite lucky for that.
I feel like if the world were a binary or a spectrum right now, you